Hey, good morning, Huntsville, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Huntsville. Thanks for waking up with us here on a Tuesday. I'm Rob Pipp, joined this week and maybe every week going forward now, our Tuesday co-host.
Sounds
Mr.
good.
Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. Jason, good to see you, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you a handshake, a little public handshake here on the camera, man.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Good to see you. You're inspiring me. I need to go get like a haircut. And it's misleading, Jason, because when I come on in the morning, like, you know, my hair's a little bit wet. I don't use gel or anything. But this hair it's starting to get out of control. And Bridget judges it by the neckline back here. And so I wear a collared shirt to kind of hide that a little bit, man. So you're inspiring me. Clean cut, looking good, ready to roll, man.
Yes, sir.
So, well, I appreciate Jason and want to welcome him into the broadcast. He'll be with us every Tuesday. I know if maybe there's some mornings that you can't make it. Some of your family may be here, Ricky or Deneen. And so excited to share the news of Guardian Defense and what they've been doing here in Huntsville for many years. I got to meet Jason quite some time ago, and he has become a very close family. I look at you as family, man. When someone invites you to their house for a home-cooked meal, you kind of elevate from friend to family. So you're family now, man.
Yes, sir.
So we got a good show lined up today. We'll learn a little bit more about Jason and his business and what they've been up to and some of the resources that they provide. And also coming up here in just under 10 minutes or so is our good friend Michelle Spencer. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. So we'll be able to hear more about the good work that the Boys and Girls Club is doing. So again, another jam-packed show today lined up with all the good things happening here in our community. And as you wake up with us this morning, as always, let us know what you're thankful for today. A lot going on here throughout Huntsville, and we know that there's always something to be thankful for. Kind of segue in, Jason, you've been in the community for a whole minute. Let us know just a little bit about your history, how you got here, and what you've been up to.
Well, you know, my family moved to the town in 1983. Lived most of my life in the Huntsville area, and this is just home for us. Spent some time away, and it didn't take long to realize it was time to come back to Huntsville. It just wasn't the same. I didn't move out of state to Fargo like you, you know, go up to the great white tundra, so to speak. I have some time, you know, traveling, but Huntsville's home, and I just want to be part of this community and part of this great show that Rob's doing, and, you know, on these, you know, uplifting shows to promote positivity in our great community.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and we're always, every single show, we're always going to talk about that, and, you know, it's a good thing. If some of you think, man, this is kind of redundant, we always talk about the good. Well, that's good. We want the good to be redundant, and that's what we need to talk about, so we're always going to bring that to you every single morning. Jason, got to know you almost as soon as I got to Huntsville. You know, you had came into a program that was started here to help lift up other businesses in the community. That's where I first met you. You came in, put on a presentation. Just guide us a little bit through the process of your business and give us a little background on Guardian Defense.
Right. Well, I saw a need in Walker County, you know, to educate folks to not necessarily, you know, teach them how to use guns, but if they want to learn, but mainly to open your mind up. You know, the best investment we can make is in ourselves, is the way I see it. And we need to be prepared for things that we aren't expecting to happen to us.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
where
important.
It came from.
There were some things that you came in and you taught us just in that presentation, coming in and speaking to the group when it first started several years ago, just about security. And the main thing that I pulled away from it, and you and I were talking about it this morning when you'd first hopped in here, is just being aware of your surroundings. And I think that is so important. And so everywhere that I go now, literally because of you, I mean, when I'm going out to a ball game, you know, went to the Astros game whenever opening weekend happened. And, you know, we do live in a world where you got to be aware of your surroundings. And so the first thing that I did was I kind of walked around the car, made sure that everything looked safe. And I started thinking, if something was going to happen, how quickly can I get back to my car? That may be like overthinking, but that's the kind of the mindset that you put in me, man.
That's really the mindset you need to think about. You know, you need to run over what-if scenarios in your head. What am I going to do if this happens? We do it all the time subconsciously. You know, when we're driving our cars up and down the road, we do that every day. And we're thinking, okay, if this car pulls out, what are we going to do here? We're doing that, but a lot of times people get, I hate to say lazy, but they just get sidetracked and are distracted. Every day, you know, just in and around Huntsville, I see people all the time that are just so involved in that remote control of their life. They'll walk through a parking lot playing on the phone. But what you didn't see is those 4 people sitting in cars, you know, while you were walking through the parking lot. Why are they there? Are they waiting to pick on you, to make you their victim, or they just don't want to go shopping. But you don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's important because, a lot of times when we think of our surroundings, we think of, safety issues and folks, someone trying to harm us. But, I mean, you brought up a good point that there's people that have their heads buried in their phone, and as you're driving, you need to pay attention, too, to make sure if someone's walking across the parking lot that you don't bump into them because they're not paying attention.
Correct. I can't tell you how many times on a weekly basis that, you slam on the brakes in the parking lot because somebody's too busy texting or doing whatever they're doing on their telephone.
Yeah, so all good things. Those are the things that Jason will bring to your mind, and it's stuff that it's very important. So you always want to be aware of your surroundings. And as this show continues on in the coming weeks, of course, we're always going to dig into what you've been up to. I did want to give you a chance to highlight your facility, though. Beautiful property that you guys have outside of town. Talk us through that and a little bit about it.
Yeah, we've got a facility located outside of Huntsville. We're actually in the middle of the Sam Houston National Forest. Yes, you're going to go through the trees to get to our facility. We have an outdoor shooting range. We have classroom facilities out there and a full gun store.
So a whole thing. And the other part of it, too, is, the shooting range that you guys have. And I like where it's at because it's in a very safe location. You've got a lot of property out there. How does that kind of work? If somebody out there is trying to learn a little bit more about just firearm safety, you've got the training facilities for that.
Yes, we do. We have a classroom where we start with our training. We get people comfortable with using the firearm or the gun. And once we feel comfortable with that, we're going to go out to the range and actually put some live ammo in there after we practice a few things and start shooting the gun. And we can start you out from never shooting the gun to, providing advanced training, to hone your skills down and, for whatever aspect you want to go in the world of shooting sports.
It's very important, and it's all at Guardian Defense. You can go to their website, guardiandefensellc.com, if I'm not mistaken. And please make sure also to go like their Facebook page to stay up to date. I've been out to the facility numerous times, and in fact, you guys had me out there and got to do some shooting there on the range, and just a beautiful facility. And Jason, I got to tell you this, too, and not just because he's sitting next to me. I'd say it even if he wasn't here. Jason's a great guy, a lot of fun to be around, but when it comes to what he does, he is all business, all serious, because there's no horseplaying going on when you're around weapons.
There's no horseplay around guns. And even when you talk about gun safety, guys, teach your kids what guns are and what they're capable of. Don't make them a taboo, okay? Don't do that. Teach them about what they can do, and your kids aren't going to play with your guns.
It's good stuff this morning from Jason Thompson. He is our new Tuesday co-host here on Hello Huntsville. We are broadcasting live from our beautiful I was about to say stadium because we were talking about baseball a while ago. One day it'll be a stadium, but right now we're just here downtown broadcasting out of our beautiful studio. Brought to you by our friends Elliott's Jewelers. Make sure to check them out online, elliotsjewelers.com. Elliott's in the audience with us today. We'll have him on here in a little bit as well to highlight some of the things that he's been up to. But again, for all your jewelry needs, custom jewelry and much more. In fact, somebody the other day on a Facebook group was saying, where can I go to get a ring adjusted? Well, Elliott's Jewelers. He's right here. And so make sure to check him out, elliotsjewelers.com. He can take care of all of those needs. Also, this show is made possible in part by our good friends at the Gallery. Go by and see my good friend, Mr. Paul Oley. He'll take care of all your photography needs, framing, and much more. I had a dream. It's funny, man, because I've been talking about Paul on this show quite a bit too. With his business, I literally had a dream the other night that I had this beautiful framed photo of Bridget and I and the baby, and it broke. And I came by to see Paul, and that was in my dream.
That was in your dream?
Yeah. So, and
really?
I never remember dreams.
Well, that's good.
Do you dream? By the way, I got to ask this. We also kind of go off the wall on this show, Jay. People say that like most people dream in black and white, but I've never met anyone that dreams in black and white.
I haven't had a dream in black and white. All mine have been in color.
Yeah, I think that somebody started this internet hoax years ago that talked about that, and I've never met anyone that dreams in black and white. So maybe this morning you're watching and you dream in black and white. Let us know. It'll give us something to discuss. There we go. And we'll lift you up through that too. And we'll say, you know what, we got a guy here that dreams in color, and we'll help lift you up through that.
There we go. That's a great plan.
A lot going on. Again, great show lined up. Michelle Spencer joins us here in just a few moments. Again, a lot of folks already joining us, so make sure that you chime in. Let us know how you're doing today. And if you have needs out there too, I wanted to bring that up. Always feel free to reach out here in this community. if you're going through a tough situation, I know sometimes that it can be tough because you don't want to admit that. I'm not telling you to go on a public platform and admit it, but reach out to somebody and find help. It's much better if you're going through a situation to reach out to people, to let them know that you're struggling, to let them know that, hey, I need a hand right now. And especially in a community like this, there are numerous people that will help out. I saw that firsthand, and you did as well just a few days ago with the Good Shepherd mission. They ran out of some staples foods there, with just different spaghetti and pastas and canned goods. And we saw the social media post go out, and I had went by there, and then you went by there later on the next day. And, I mean, it was people were loaded up, dropping off stuff.
There were a lot of people dropping off food, which was great to see the outpouring in this community that went out and supported, a good organization in our community.
Yeah, so
when they reached out, they needed help. They exhausted what they had. I think Huntsville as a community stepped up, and I was very proud to see that.
That is, and so exciting. And that's the things that you see here in our community and why we love it so much. So it's always great to see those things as well. Jerica already joining us this morning. She is a regular guest, and I love this because – it's about Huntsville and what's going on in the local community and surrounding communities. But Jerica is from Fargo, North Dakota. She watches every morning, and so we are spreading the good news of Huntsville outside of the realms of Walker County.
That is amazing.
So, Jerica, if you ever decide one day because of the show to move here, let us know, and we'll make sure to have you on. But we'll step aside, take a break. We got a lot more to come. Stay with us again. Let us know you're out there. We'd love to hear from you this morning. We'll be back here in just a few moments. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Good morning, friends. Welcome back in here to Good Morning Huntsville on a Tuesday, episode number 12. And it's crazy to think that time flies. Joined by Jason Thompson. He is our new Tuesday co-host of Guardian Defense for all of your security needs and for training and more LTC classes. Make sure to go to their website, guardiandefensellc.com. And Jason will get you taken care of. She's been patiently waiting, now joined by our good friend, Miss Michelle Spencer, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County.
Good morning.
Michelle, good morning. I got to say, and I'm not making this up, when you're in the room, everything lights up, and so it's great to see you today.
Thank you, Rob. Good to have you back in Huntsville.
Thank you. Well, I say this, and I've been saying it, there's many folks in this community of why we wanted to come back, and you're a perfect example of those. So we talk so much about the good of Huntsville and all the great things happening. And we just love the energy and the enthusiasm that you bring, Michelle. And,
Thank you.
And that resonates with people. It really settles, starts in your mind, but it settles down in your heart. And so when I think of you, I think, man, that's a great person. And then I just feel that joy in my heart.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
So
all by the grace of God.
Absolutely. Well, wanted to welcome you in today, and some important things going on throughout our community, such as the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County and my hometown of Georgetown. I'm claiming, by the way, I don't know if you can do this, and maybe you can correct me, but I'm claiming Huntsville is my hometown now. Even though I grew up, I'll always say that I'm from Georgetown. But is that okay? I mean, if you're a visitor coming in and you move here?
That's absolutely okay. I do the same thing.
Okay.
Not from here.
But you claim it as your hometown.
Got here as fast as I could.
There we go. So Boys and Girls Club, an important organization. I got to witness firsthand the work that they did in the Georgetown community. It's a national organization. And just kind of wanted you this morning to give us some background, some insight before we dig into that. Just a little bit about your history. I know a lot of folks in the community know you because you're very active and you do a lot of wonderful things here. But there may be somebody out there today that says, I don't know, Michelle. Let us know about you, Michelle.
Well, I was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas. Graduate of Sam Houston State University, eat 'em up Bearcats, and left here and went back to Fort Worth and started my career with Boys and Girls Club of Fort Worth and worked there 11 years as their prevention services director. And a colleague of mine came to my office and said, have you ever thought about being a CEO of a small organization? And I was like, no, why would I? I love what I'm doing. She goes, well, you could have a little bit more control of what you do if you like to do that, so you should apply. Well, when I got home, there was a alumni invitation from Sam Houston State to attend a luncheon. Now, I had been out of school a very long time and had never received a piece of mail. I had been married, been divorced, moved multiple times, and there was this invitation. So I went in, wrote out my little $25 check, and got online to apply for the job of CEO here in Huntsville. And 2 weeks later, I go to the luncheon, and I'm sitting there. And if you know anything about alumni luncheons, there's the very old and the very young, the ones that just graduated and the ones that are trying to figure out what they're doing in their lives now. And so I kept thinking, why am I here, Lord? You know, so I'm introducing myself, and I'm saying, good morning, and how you doing? Glad to be here. And we're introducing ourselves and telling when we graduated. And so it's time for the luncheon to start. The networking part is over. And I go and sit down, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to sit. There were 10 tables of 8 in the room. And I go and I see this woman sitting with these 2 gentlemen, and I thought, I'm going to go sit with her. So there are 2 gentlemen. There's the lady. I skip a seat, and I sit in the empty seat, 1 seat over from her. And the gentleman furthest from me starts to introduce himself, and we go around the room. Well, as the woman introduces herself, in walks this gentleman, and he sits in the empty seat between us. So he starts to eat his salad. We skip him because he's got a mouthful of food. And I introduce myself. And at the time, I said, my name is Michelle McKenzie. I'm with Boys and Girls Club of Greater Fort Worth. Just glad to be here. And we go back to the gentleman, and he says, I'm Dr. Wes Johnson, Associate Dean of the Criminal Justice Department at Sam Houston. And then he turned and looked at me, and he says, I'm also the president of the board for the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. I think I just read your resume. Now, tell me if that's not a God thing. So I start to just, tell him all the things that I couldn't tell him on my resume, and in walks a gentleman late who's with Fort Worth ISD, and he sits down, and he starts to confirm some of the programs that I mentioned. Well, when I get ready to leave, I call my cousin, and I said, listen, I need you to find me a home in Huntsville. He goes, what for? I said, because I've applied for a job there. And he says, well, did you get it? I said, no. He said, well, have you interviewed? No. Not yet. The next day, I get a phone call and from the nominating committee chair, and he says, hey, I heard you met Dr. Johnson. We'd love to have you come in for an interview. Well, 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in front of a 7-panel interview committee for 2.5 hours. And when that was over with, I said, listen, tomorrow's my birthday. It'd be great if you offered me the job. And they chuckled. And I said, no, seriously, tomorrow is my birthday. Well, they didn't call me on my birthday, but the day after, I get a call, and they said, we know we're a day late, but we'd love you to come and take over the CEO job.
Did they say happy belated birthday?
They did. And 2 weeks later, I was signing at Walker County Title on a home. And I was here July 18th, 2005, and I've never looked back.
There it
Huntsville
is.
is my home. And raised my children here. They all are Huntsville High School graduates, and they are now residents here. And this is home away from home.
It is the hometown.
Yeah.
And Jason, you talk to folks like Michelle, and it's just more the good in the community.
It is. It really and truly is.
Thank you.
We see a lot of good things happening here, and the Boys and Girls Club, a lot of valuable resources that it provides to children here in this community. Just guide us through the Boys and Girls Club. What does it do? How do they serve the youth, the age range, and those kind of things, Michelle?
So Boys and Girls Club is affiliated with the National Boys and Girls Club of America. This club is celebrating 20 years of service in the Walker County, Huntsville area. We serve children K through 12th grade, and it's an after-school summer camp. And the club has just really impacted so many children. We've served 6,500 children through the Boys and Girls Club in the last 20 years.
Wow.
That's
Totaling
amazing.
about almost 3 million hours of impact service. And the club is the kids come to us. We have about 11 buses through the Huntsville ISD partnership that we have that drop off kids to us in the afternoon. We feed them a hot meal. They do homework, mentoring programs, anywhere from life skills to how to be a young lady and a young man in our community. Simple life skills, but it's all about creating relationships and building a safe environment for kids to be kids. Because nowadays kids are inundated with so many things that are not childlike, and so our kids have an opportunity to come and be a 5-year-old or be a 18-year-old and not have any worries while they're at the club.
I think that's so important too, because you mentioned, you could be a 17 or an 18-year-old and be a part of the club. And what I've seen throughout the process of the Boys and Girls Club, is kids growing up in the program, and it's a place that they absolutely fall in love with. And the neatest thing is, especially for the older youth, they get to be a mentor to the younger kids.
Absolutely. We try to make sure that kids understand that it's a safe place. This is where they can grow and develop the things that they love, whether it's art or dance or being a leader in our clubhouse. There's an opportunity for all of that at the Boys and Girls Club. About 5 years ago, we implemented our adult education and literacy program, and we thought, if we're working with the children and they come from circumstances that might need a little help, how can we impact the entire family? And so our adult ed program provides GED classes, English as a second language, citizenship classes, and 2 integrated educational trainings, one being certified nurses assistants and phlebotomy. And through this program, we've served well over 300 adult students, some of which are parents of the children we serve in the afternoon. And what a change that is in their family. Education becomes a priority. And it's great to have a child see their parents studying just as hard as they should be. And so it changes how they are able to promote themselves. It changes the financial situation in their family. And it's an all-around win-win.
Again, Michelle Spencer joining us,
Yeah.
explaining the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County this morning. If you've got questions for Michelle, by the way, please let us know if you're on the live stream right now. A lot of folks joining us. Good morning to Melissa Barham as well joining us. Justin Killingsworth commenting a few moments ago. Let us know if you'd like to have any questions with Michelle as we continue on. We will step aside. We'll take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the Boys and Girls Club, some of the recent events that happen, and some things that are on the horizon. Great opportunities for young people here in Huntsville. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Hey, good morning, Huntsville. Welcome back into another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. We're broadcasting live from downtown Huntsville in our beautiful studio that is supported and sponsored by our good friend Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers. Elliot comes in every other week. Elliot, good to have you on. And this was your idea to get Michelle on. We talked about it, when I was here before, and finally had the opportunity to get her here. How have you been, my friend?
I've been wonderful. How about you?
Doing great. Appreciate your support. Good to have you here in the house today, and a lot of good things going on at Elliot's Jewelers as well.
Yes. Well, we're getting ready for Wine Quest at Rotary, and that's going to be a big event. Tickets are still available. If we'll mention how to get tickets, but contact a Rotarian. You can contact Rob at the store. We're getting all sorts of new items, and we're beautiful pieces and lots of diamonds.
Lots of diamonds, lots of merch coming in. That's the new trendy word. Well, I say new trendy word. It's been around for 15, 20 years now.
Well, we're also doing a lot of custom design, and people are getting married at rapid paces, and they want their own design, and we're happy to make it for them.
I did want to mention something, and Elliot, wants to definitely reach out, promote nonprofits. That's one of the reasons that he inspired me to really, keep this show rolling. And one of the ideas when I came back to Huntsville was to build the Hello Huntsville platform and to do this show, because Elliot was an inspiration in highlighting nonprofits in our community, such as Michelle Spencer with the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. Good to have her. We'll chat with Michelle here in just a few moments again, and appreciate her being here. But Elliot, I was in your shop the other day. Someone had called, and I was amazed at how you didn't just say, oh, yeah, that's what you want, that's what you need. There was somebody that had some ideas, and not only did you kind of guide them through the process briefly on the phone, but you told them, I don't think that that's going to work, and here's why. I think that's important, because you're not just trying to make a sell, you're trying to make an everlasting impact on someone.
Well, the wedding ring is what I specialize in, and designing jewelry to fit the person, their lifestyle, what they like, as well as what's practical for them to keep and wear. And it has to fit their lifestyle, because somebody with a large hand wearing a little teeny ring will disappear, and vice versa. So we match the ring to the individual, and we custom design it to their specifications, but we make it a complete thing, make it a cohesive piece. The center diamond needs to match the side diamond. The gold needs to bring out all the diamonds, and it needs to look right and comfortable on the individual's hand.
Well, he'll teach you the best. He knows it better than anyone here in the area. Again, Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. And speaking of diamonds and gold and good things, Michelle Spencer, a diamond in our community, joining us this morning.
Thank you.
From the Boys and Girls Club as we continue the discussion about what's going on at the Boys and Girls Club. By the way, Michelle, Stephanie Pitts, our good friend at Advantage Specialties, saying good morning. Love Michelle and the great things going on.
Thank you for the shirt.
Yeah, that's right. She got mine too. Elliot's missing out. We just need to get him one. But she says just thank you for the great things going on at the Boys and Girls Club. What a blessing for our community. It is a blessing, and that kind of segues into some of the events that are happening. Just had a really awesome out at the Bearcat course, and I had reached out to you, and we posted an article on HelloHuntsvilleTX.com from your Facebook post. Kids getting introduced to a new sport. Many of them didn't know the game of golf. That kind of sets them up for new opportunities in life. Talk a little bit about that event, Michelle, and just some of the other events going on.
So the great thing about being a member of the Boys and Girls Club is that we try to introduce our children to new ideas, new possibilities, and new opportunities for them. And so partnership with Sam Houston Golf Team, and they came out and did a golf camp. I think this might be our third time to do it. Jerry Baker is an avid supporter of the club, and she thought this would be great 3 years ago. And the kids absolutely love it. It's an individual sport, and it gives them an opportunity to do something that they might not ever be able to be a part of. And so it's just a great opportunity. We have many partnerships with Sam Houston and people around the community. As a nonprofit, we're always trying to find new ways and new things to bring to our children and our families in Huntsville.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
good things going on. Again, Michelle Spencer joining us this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville, talking about the great work that the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County does. Don't want to say of Huntsville because it's all of Walker
It's
County.
all of Walker County.
Showing some pictures here from the website, too, and you can go online. Make sure you check them out, walkercountykids.org. Love the name of that website. And, the motto of the Boys and Girls Club is great futures start here. And when you get those kids involved and embraced in the community, it gives them a sense that, hey, you know what? People outside of my family love me, that this community wants to love on me and be a part. And that sets them up for the future.
Our focus at the club is giving a child a sense of belonging, a sense of usefulness, a sense of competence and influence. And we do that through every one of the programs that we provide at Boys and Girls Club. And, we are talking about investing in children, which one day will be sitting in our chairs. And so how do we fill them with all things good, from recognizing the great things that they're doing to giving them the tools to be productive, responsible citizens of our community?
Elliot, we highlighted a lot of nonprofits,
Yes.
of course, on this show, and the Boys and Girls Club, a tremendous asset to the community. You have some familiarity with organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. Just kind of expand on that.
Well, the Boys and Michelle and this club is probably one of the best in the country.
Thank you.
And it's meaningful, and it is making a very strong impact. We have several charities that or not-for-profits, let's say, that serve our community, that elevate the people that they serve by giving them opportunity. Just like you said, the kids have a chance to play golf. They get to break the cycle to keep them on the right path.
Absolutely.
To be great citizens. And that's through your influence and through the community. And that happens with Safe House. That happens with all the charities that we serve in this community. They're all doing good, and they just need your support, your help, money, time, whatever you can give.
It's great things happening again at the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. Michelle Spencer, the CEO, joining us here this morning on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. It's a great opportunity for kids, too, because after school they can do their homework with the Boys and Girls
Absolutely.
Club as well.
First priority.
And that's the number one thing. You can't be involved in the activities until you get that homework
Absolutely.
done. That is right,
That
correct?
is correct.
Okay, I wanted to
That
make
is
sure, because that's
correct.
what they said in Georgetown.
It's funny, kids are always saying, I don't have homework. Well, guess what? You get to read while everyone else does it. And miraculously, they come up with something that they have to do. And so parents are busy trying to raise their families. We want to give them more family time when they get home. So homework is a priority. And in this day and time, there are lots of times for us to pour into them. And that's what we do.
And they get a meal.
And they get a meal with our partnership with Huntsville ISD.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It's a great partnership with the local school district as well. And the way that I've seen it work in other communities, I mean, there are buses that will pick up the
Yes.
children from the schools and take them directly
Yes.
to the club, correct?
Yes. We were just gifted a nice grant through Bridgestone, which hopefully in the next few months you'll see a Boys and Girls Club van rolling through our community. And so we're looking to expand picking up kids from possibly Huntsville Classical Academy to bring them, because currently they do a kind of family carpool to get to Boys and Girls Club. So this will be another opportunity for us to expand and reach out outside of the district who bring kids to us. Like I mentioned earlier, I think there's 11 buses that drop off kids at Boys and Girls Club.
Wow.
Yeah.
So kiddos out there, maybe there's a parent that's watching this show, or they're going back and they're listening at a later time, and they say, I've heard about the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. I want to get my kids involved. How does that process work, Michelle?
So you can go to our website, which you mentioned earlier at walkercountykids.org, and fill out an application, go through a parent orientation. It's a $40 annual membership fee and a $40 activity fee per month. And if you look at any other after-school child care, that's a steal for all the things that we provide in the afternoon. Plus, it's a safe place for kids to go and be a kid all over again.
Good information that, someone out there today needed to hear. I know there's someone that's saying, hey, I've wanted to get involved. And so you can go to walkercountykids.org for more information. We talked about how the buses can pick the kids up from the school. Of course, parents, they're more than welcome to drop off as well, I would assume. Is that right?
Well,
if someone did?
During the summer, our hours are 7:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the afternoon, 10-hour days. Parents drop off there and pick up there. We provide breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack. And here we are. Summer is fast approaching. We're planning field trips and fun activities and folks to come in and provide services for us all through the summer. Education will continue. So sorry, kids, you'll still be learning during the summer, but it'll be fun activities and fun ways for them to continue retaining the information that they've learned.
Michelle, how important, you brought up the summer program. How important is that summer program for these youth?
Extremely important. I grew up as a latchkey kid. I was at home alone. It was a normal thing. Nowadays, it's not too good for kids to be left alone. There's so many things that they can get into. And so we just provide a safe place for them to continue being children. We have fantastic staff who are well trained and educated on taking care of children and providing fun activities for them. So very important.
Again, Michelle Spencer here with us. Got a few more minutes, Michelle. Appreciate your time being here, coming in early this morning. The show used to be 8 to 9, and we noticed there was a lot more engagement from 7 to 8. And so as much as I don't like to get up that extra hour early, it's a good opportunity for folks before you get to work to tune into the show and to learn a little bit more about all the good things happening in our community, such as wonderful friends and Michelle Spencer with the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County. Michelle, you've been with the organization a considerable amount of time. You've seen a lot of great things. What are some of the changes that you've seen with the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, number one, our biggest change was when we moved into our own facility in 2019. And that took a very long time for us to finally get to that point. The growth has been enormous. Great board, great community involvement, great support. I couldn't ask for anything better. We have grown by the types of services that we provide. Before, we had 3 areas of programming that we focused on: education, sports, and life skills. And now we do art, music, you name it, we've got it going on at the Boys and Girls Club. And so the growth has just been enormous in the types of services that we provide.
Michelle, located 99 MLK Boulevard, is that correct?
Absolutely. We're right across the street from Huntsville ISD Transportation, and it's a great location. It was gifted to us, and we're hoping to expand because we've outgrown our space already.
Wow.
And we've only been open 3 years.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
Congratulations.
We have a fantastic board and great staff that make everything happen.
Michelle, we do have a couple more minutes and just wanted to ask this morning, someone out there maybe is asking, hey, I want to get involved, I want to help. How does that work if someone wants to volunteer with the club? Is that a possibility?
That's a definite possibility. Go to our website. There's a tab for volunteers. Fill out that application. Shoot it over to us, and we'll look at your expertise and figure out where to place you. There's always room for folks to come in and be a part.
So, again, that website, walkercountykids.org, just put that up there on the screen. And then finally, before we let you go, just a couple of last questions here. What are the biggest needs of the club right now?
Well, volunteers. Our adult ed program is looking for certified teachers. We have a couple of openings in that area. And then we're approaching summer, so summer activities, opportunities for that, as well as we're always in need for school supplies, extra balls, footballs, basketballs. They go really fast. So volunteers and program supplies.
Perfect. Well, it's all good information that the community needs to know. We're working on a program here on Hello Huntsville called Rays of Hope, and that will be taking place, a summer donation drive. And so if there's any needs that you guys have through that event, please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help promote that for
Thank you. I'd also like to put in a little plug. We are doing our second annual Oktoberfest bingo coming up in October, so we're planning that already. It was a fun event. BJ McMichael is our host, and just a fun way to give back to the club and have a good time.
All right. Well, there she is, Michelle Spencer, giving us some very important information. I do have to ask you one last question. I always ask our guests on this show. You talked about Huntsville. What are you most thankful for about this community, Michelle?
Just the way that they welcomed me. I'm not originally from here, and I have never had a door shut in my face. And just the amount of love that I get when I'm walking around town.
We knew when you were coming, so that's why I opened the door and had the brick there and had the door wide open whenever you got here. So the door will always be open for you, Michelle.
Thank you so very much.
Well, this community loves you. They appreciate you very much. Again, Michelle Spencer is our commitment to our nonprofit community here this morning on Good Morning Huntsville. Thanks for being a part.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll step aside, take a break. Tuesdays are brought to you by our good friends at Guardian Defense. Jason Thompson is our new co-host. We'll talk more with Jason here in just a few moments. Stay with us. A lot more to come here this morning on Good Morning Huntsville. Welcome back at it. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Good Morning Huntsville, episode number 12. As we are cruising through April, May right around the corner. Rob Hipp here, joined by my good friends, Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense. Thanks for being with us. Going to be here every Tuesday.
Yeah,
and
I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of good things happening through your business and community as well. And, you know, it's cool because that's one reason that we wanted to bring in nonprofits was to tie them into the business community. And
right.
Folks such as yourself, Jason, that have been in this community, that have a business, you know, getting to learn more about the Boys and Girls Club and what they have to do. So,
no, it sounds like an amazing organization. Learned a lot from it.
So good opportunity there for the folks in Huntsville to connect, and appreciate Michelle being with us. Elliot's going to hang out with us for a few more minutes. Elliot, what's on your agenda today, my friend?
Well, again, we're working on Rotary Wine Quest, and we're getting all the goodies prepared for the event coming May 6th. And there's tickets for sale. It's a night to remember, Gatsby night, and there'll be a nice event, and lots of games and fun. It's a fundraiser, and the fundraiser is used to support the Rotary charities. We've got 6 or 8, some that what is it, Tiny Town or what is
Safety Town.
Safety
Town, yeah.
I always get that confused. And then the reading for children, and everything is for the children.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's why we love Boys and Girls Club. The event is to raise money, and 100% of the money that is raised at the Wine Quest event goes to these local charities. So I'm glad to be a part of it. We're going to be having a wine pull. We're going to have a jewelry pull, and we're going to have a diamond bling pearl where we're giving away a 1-carat diamond for a $100 raffle ticket.
Wow. So, yeah, get out there again. And I think there's the website for that, and I'll have to look that up, but there actually is. I'm gonna Google this real quick while we are going here.
If someone's wanting to get raffle tickets, who do they contact?
Well, they can't buy the raffle tickets. They need to come to the event.
Okay. So they need to go to the event to
That's right.
Yeah,
participate.
That's
and
right.
then the website is winequestrotary.org. And so I want to encourage you this morning that if you have not purchased a ticket yet to WineQuest, please do. I'll be out there at the event. Going to be a lot of fun. My sister's coming into town that
Yay.
weekend, so I'm going to buy her a ticket. And, it's going to be a great time to introduce her to Huntsville and the Rotary Club as well. And, Jason, are you a wine guy?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't take Jason.
I'm not a wine guy.
But you can still. Here's the deal, though. And I love it because I'm not either. I
Right.
really am not. But for these events, I kind of turn into a little bit of a wino, but not too much. But it's still a good opportunity to come out and have a lot of fun. But it is a great event. And even if you don't drink wine, look, I know that it's a wine tasting event.
Yeah.
But even if you don't drink wine, you can still come out. There's going to be some great food there.
Yes.
And a good opportunity just to chat and catch up with other folks. But the wine is a big part of it, and it is a lot of fun. We had it out at Magnolia Lakes the past several years, and this year we'll be back over at the Gibbs Conference Center there at the museum. So a really nice setup that it's going to be this year.
Sam's Table, just up the road from us, up the street from us, he's going to be the food sponsor. So we expect a big turnout, and also great food from him. And, of course, I'll be there, and Michelle will be there, and you'll be there.
I'll probably be there.
Okay, good.
We'll figure out a way. Jason always gets suckered into everything. We put him on
No,
the spot.
I'm
so-
a sponsor.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. So we'll figure out a way to get Jason. Maybe we'll get you to drink a couple of glasses of wine, and we'll
I doubt that.
And we'll live stream it here on Hello Huntsville.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Sounds
gonna do
like
that, Jason. Well, good opportunity again to get involved. I always say good opportunity because there's so many good opportunities to get plugged into the community. And by the way, I want to encourage you this morning. Last night I was up late. It's never good. I was joking with Michelle earlier because I said, Braylon's 17 months old. Is it okay to use your kid as an excuse for being late sometimes to some things? Not really. You don't ever want to use your kids for that. But you can say, I was up till 1 a.m. working on stuff. Baby gets up in the middle of the night. So, I had about 4 hours of sleep last night. But I was up late. And I'm passionate about what I do. And I think when you're passionate, sleep is what it is. When you're passionate, you just have fun. But I was up late last night and just incorporated on our website a new plugin for you as the community to send us your events that you're having throughout the community. So all you have to do is go to HelloHuntsvilleTX.com/events/community, and that'll be an opportunity for you to add your event. You can also go to the website, and then there's an event menu, and you can click on Add Your Event. Let us know what you have going on, because maybe there's something that you have as a nonprofit or your business is having, like tonight is the Business After Hours for the Chamber of Commerce, and we'll be there for that. So you can add your events, and we'll go through and moderate them. We do moderate them, and then we'll publish them on the website.
Also, Rick and Kay with Tomorrow's Promise, their color run is this weekend, the 29th, at the university. And there's tickets available if you would like to run in the color run. This is to raise money for the Imagination Library. That's for reading books for kids that as soon as they're born, they get to receive a book every month until they're 5 years old. I think that's correct. And this run is, the cost is expensive because the sponsor organization, Tomorrow's Promise, has to pay to mail them. They get the books from Imagination Library. And so this is to help offset those costs. The people that receive the books don't pay anything for it. So if you'd like that, contact Tomorrow's Promise Montessori School, and you can get information. And if you need a phone number, you can contact me and I'll give you the phone number.
Absolutely, and we will have Kay and Rick Boning on tomorrow. They are our Wednesday co-hosts here on Good Morning Huntsville, and we'll definitely talk more about that event because they need runners, And so please sign up and support that great organization. We will step aside, take a break, and one final break. And when we come back, Jason and I will close you out. Again, let us know you're out there. A lot of folks continuing to join us. Janie Blackwood, my cousin, sent top of the morning to Huntsville, Texas. I know she's joining in from Corpus Christi this morning, probably up early, taking care of the horses. Janie, love you and appreciate you joining in as well. We will step aside, take a break. One more segment to go. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. There we go. Welcome back at it here. Rob Piff alongside Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense, our Tuesday co-host here on Good Morning Huntsville. Feels like it's a lot later than Tuesday for some reason. Jake,
I know.
you ever have that?
Yes, it does, especially this week.
You know, one of the cool things, and you know, I'll bring it up a few times. We won't do it every single week, but Jason, I'm so appreciative of you and your family. I mean, you guys helped me move 5 times, and we are done. 2 years, 5 times. You guys even drove all the way to Georgetown. That's a three-hour journey with the trailer to help us move.
We did.
And we're not doing that anymore as far as moving.
I'm glad.
Yeah, because I know
that's probably my least favorite thing to do is move.
And here's the thing. I didn't even ask Jason. He just said, hey, man, he said, I'm going to come help you. And it wasn't like an ask. He's like, no, we're coming to help you. And
right.
You always said reach out anytime you need anything. Well, I didn't want to take advantage of the generosity, but, I mean, literally you guys were involved in 5 moves, man.
Well, you do what you do for your friends. I mean, that's in a nutshell. If we can help people out and I have the opportunity to help someone, I'm gonna take full advantage and help them.
Well, Jason, in the coming weeks, too, I want to dig more into just safety and being aware of your surroundings. I think maybe next year we'll talk about just maybe put together a short program during a 15-minute segment on just really how to be aware of your surroundings, and we'll highlight some information, maybe some things that folks don't even think about whenever it comes to your surroundings. Correct. And so that'll be great to kind of catch us up to speed on that and what you're doing with Guardian Defense. I did want to bring up something, too, that'll be very beneficial for anybody out there. Is I wanted you to highlight those LTC classes, because that is something I believe that is so critical. It's something that you offer, and it's extremely affordable.
Correct. And you know, in Texas, they did recently passed a law change to where you don't have to have a license if you want to carry a gun, for self-defense purposes. The advantages to having a license to carry are numerous. Most important, you know what you're doing. You're not guessing. We cover a lot of the material and the use of force laws and stuff like that, and we get you prepared mentally more than anything, because our strongest tool that we have as a human being is the 6 inches in between our ears, guys.
Yeah, I love that.
And I can't stress that enough, and I stress it a lot when we're talking, when I'm talking in the LTC course. We try to offer a few courses a month, for folks in this community. And I have people travel from all over the state to come take our courses.
Yeah, and just get out there. I mean, it's something that's important. Bridget and I want to do it. Obviously, she's pregnant, so we can't do it right now.
Can't do it right now.
What are the costs? It's not. You may
$50.
$50 for this LTC course, and you can do it in a day.
Yes,
on a weekend.
It's about 6 hours long. We primarily do them on the weekends, but we do have some openings available throughout the week with a little bit of planning that we can accommodate students. In fact, I'm teaching a class, not an LTC class. I have a gentleman reached out. He wanted some specific training, and tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, he's going to be in the classroom. So we try to be as accommodating as we can for people's schedule, because in this society, it's no longer Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, is it?
Yeah, we need to figure out a way to change that though, because man, it's weird how things change and times change, and and even family values change, and you don't want your family values to change. Back in the day, it could be that the husband worked and the wife stayed at home and took care of the kids, and for the most part, that's still the same. But I mean, it's the cost of living is going through the roof, and a lot of times now you have to, and that's why
you almost have to have two people working or two incomes, depending on the lifestyle that you want to have.
And the reason I brought that up too is because it's just more ways that you need to think about your surroundings and protect your family. Because maybe your kid, here's another situation. I know we'll talk more about this in a couple of weeks, but another situation is maybe you're both working parents and your kiddo has to stay at home. He or she is as of the age to where they can stay at home after school while you're finishing up work. But, you've got to teach your kids, too, how to be aware of their surroundings.
Right. They need to be aware of their surroundings and what to watch out for. And I'm sure there's programs at the Boys and Girls Club that help prepare them for stuff like that. And there's other organizations that do that. But we need to make sure our kids are paying attention to what's going on around them. Back in my day, they called it stranger danger when my kids were growing up.
I'm going to teach Braylon that.
Stranger danger.
I saw that the first time I heard it in public was on Kindergarten Cop, that movie. All the little kids were there. And stranger danger. But it's true. I mean, we laugh, but it is. It's, you got to be aware of who's around you and what's going on.
Yeah, I remember growing up, the neighbors would watch out for you. If you were misbehaving, it wasn't anything for your the next door neighbor to come over and straighten you out, correct your mistakes for you while your parents aren't there. Anymore, we don't have that in today's society, and that's scary.
Yeah, it is. Well, Jason, good to have you on the show. You'll be joining us every Tuesday, or someone from the family will be here with us, but Guardian Defense is our Tuesday sponsor. Folks, it's friends such as Jason, and you'll hear from Rick and Kay Boning, and Justin Killensworth, and Greg Smith, and Elliott's Jewelers, and Paul Oley. It's these folks that are laying the foundation for us to be able to bring you this show each and every weekday. So we want to encourage you, please go out and support these local businesses. Today, maybe you've been nervous around a gun, and that word kind of scares you because that's let's be honest. I mean, that's the way I'm not getting political, but that's the way that society has created almost this fear of guns. And Jason is the guy that's going to teach you to not fear this, to see it as a tool for protection and to help you protect your family. And so it's guys like Jason, and go support his business. Take the LTC class. If you feared being around a gun, go to Jason's class. $50, 6 hours on a Saturday, and he can help you overcome that fear and teach you how valuable of a tool it is.
Right, and that's for personal protection. If you want to learn how, the basics of rifles or pistols, whatever your interest may be, we have classes designed to teach you how to operate them safely. The license to carry course, it's a proficiency course. A lot of people think, oh, well, I can take LTC because we're going to teach you how to shoot. No, that class really is designed for people that already know how to shoot guns. Will we work with you? Of course we will. Okay. However, if you're new to shooting, we highly recommend our NRA basic, either pistol or rifle course. It's a little bit more in-depth course. That sole purpose is to teach you how to properly use the gun.
Well, there it is. Jason Thompson giving us that information. So valuable. You can find out more on their website at guardiandefensellc.com. Melissa was chiming in saying, great class, great instructor. Also, Derek Birdsall saying Jason does a great job. And then some folks from the groups out there on Facebook saying good morning as well. So appreciate that. Melissa also saying that Guardian Defense is an amazing family-owned business, and I can attest to that as well. Jason, before we let you go, we are at that hour mark here. Again, appreciate you being with us. Always have to go through this. It's always something National Day of. We think about Christmas and Easter, but today is National Library Workers Day. So if you work in a local library, thank you for all that you do.
Yes.
Also, National East Meets West Day. If we had more time, I would dig into that because I have no idea what that is, Jason.
I wonder if that has to do with the railroad.
It might. You know what? I think you're right because the stamp has a railroad connecting it. So there you go. Jason's already bringing me up to speed. Hey, how about this? It's also National Telephone Day. We were just talking earlier before we went on the show about how everybody's glued to their phones nowadays. Well, hey, if you want to be glued to your phone, don't do it while you're driving. But today is the day to do it. It's National Telephone Day. Also, check this one out, Jason. He saw it just on here. Today is, hey, if you've got problems in your house with your plumbing, show some love to your plumbers. It's National
Hug a Plumber Day.
National Hug a Plumber Day today.
Okay.
I don't know who comes up with this stuff. National Zucchini Bread Day, and it's also National DNA Day. But my favorite is National Hug a Plumber. So
Yes, that takes the cake.
so if you're having
definite.
problems today with your plumbing and your plumber comes out, give them a hug. Tell them you love them.
There you go.
Jason, been a good show today. I appreciate you
Yes.
very much. Again, Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense. Visit them online, guardiandefensellc.com. Jason, you love Huntsville. What are you most thankful for about this community?
This community is a great community to live in, to be a part of. A lot of us support each other, support our local businesses, and that's what makes it home.
That's right. Again, you can submit your events. Let us know what you have going on around town. We'd love to have those events coming in on our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com. Super simple. All you have to do, you can click the link that popped up on your social media feeds there in the comments, or go to hellohuntsvilletx.com/events/community, and it will automatically go to the ad page. So let us know what you have going on. And also, don't forget to sign up for your LTC classes with Jason. You can go to guardiandefensellc.com. Hey, Huntsville Lady Hornets softball heading to the playoffs as they secured the #1 seed with their victory last night. Congratulations to the Lady Hornets. Huntsville boys baseball is in the playoffs coming up, so congratulations to them, having a phenomenal season. Coach there does a great job with those kiddos on both sides, and so many other things going on. Sam Houston baseball is doing great right now as well. You can go to hornetnation.org for the latest schedules for Huntsville High School, and then go bearcats.com for the latest schedules for Sam Houston State University. Wanted to make sure I plug all those student athletes and the great work that they are doing. We'll step aside. That'll wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. More guests coming on. Laura Green from the Chamber joins us alongside Rick and Kay Boning as we talk about Diva Night and the success that they had, and more things going on with the Chamber. We'll also talk more about the fun run that is coming up with Tomorrow's Promise. As I end every broadcast, I want to remind you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, Huntsville, so reach out to someone, provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. And until tomorrow morning, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you next time.